Jumbo family. Ujima, collective working responsibility. To build and restore our community and to make it better. To make our sisters and brothers' problems our problems and solve them together. That is what Ujima means. Let us remember that as we partake in this adventure tonight. Ashe.
I'd like to first, or next, after the thank you to them, extend a heartfelt thank you and welcome on behalf of Susan and myself to all of you. You didn't have to be here. You could have been doing other things, but you came, and we are so grateful that you did. And we both feel that you came because you love this community and you want to do your part to make sure that the community is served well. So give yourselves a round of applause for being here. Thank you again. Well, as busy people, we all are, and nobody's busier at this time of the year than our superintendent, David James. And so we're going to go a little bit out of order because he probably has a couple more things on the agenda for this evening. He's going to bring his words of welcome right now, and then we'll continue on with our agenda. Our superintendent, David James.
Hey, thank you, and thank you for coming out on this really nasty, rainy evening. I do really appreciate it, but it really isn't so much coming out here for me, it's really for you. You know, when we first started this whole process of building these community learning centers, the actual vision, you know, that the mayor had and the school board and I had was that, you know, we would work with each community so the community learning centers reflect activities that are important to you. The work that you're doing here is probably the first time that I have seen in this community, you know, this type of engagement where it's really grassroots and it isn't coming from downtown.
Right now we have some speakers that we'd like to say a few words for you that really signify the partnership that we all have together. We heard from our superintendent. We have the Billy Soul from the mayor's office representing the city. We have our ward councilmen, both president of the council, Mr. Marco Somerville, and Ward 3 councilman, and Mr. Russ Neal, Ward 4 councilman.
On behalf of Akron Mayor Don Pasquale, I just want to welcome everyone and say we are encouraged that so many people have come out this evening to take part of this process. The mayor apologizes for not being able to be here tonight. We will do our best for our children and for the community. And as I look around the room, I see the faces of many that I've known in this community. It's really great to see you here today to be involved in this process, because it's up to you to make this CLC and the Bukto cluster what it's going to be into the future. So keep that in mind. Keep our children in mind, keep our community in mind, and keep our city in mind. Thank you very much.
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be back here at Bukto High School. I am a graduate of Bukto High School. I'm not ashamed to say what year, 1970. Hey man, hey man, hey man. It's just good to be here. I'm also a graduate of the Kraut School. I don't know when I graduated from there, so we won't go back that far. But we've been working on developing these schools. It's hard to believe that we've completed 25 schools already. 25 schools across the city have been built. Some have, East was basically retrofitted, but most of those have been brand new buildings that we have built, and we're real pleased about that. It's happened. Some time ago I had a discussion with the mayor. We talked about making these facilities available, the school facilities, available to the community, because what happened after school was out, and particularly in the summer, these buildings were padlocked up and nobody could really use them. It made no sense at all. I think we all would agree that that made no sense. And when there was no need to build other facilities when we had these facilities, and the fact that you were paying the bill for that just made no sense to us. And of course, you know, you have the city who has their own set of politics. You have the school board that has their own set of politics. And there's certain ownership that took place. The schools felt these were their buildings, you know, not the city's buildings. And we had to work our way through that. And we did work our way through that. It wasn't easy. And we still have some bumps in the road that we still have to work through. But we're trying to do that. I am real glad about this process to hear what exactly the community likes to see these centers do. I will turn it over to Mr. Russell Neal, the 4th Ward Council person, and look forward to working with all of you. Thank you.
Well, I'm happy to say that I'm also a Booker graduate.
What year?
Class of 1980, the best year. Our community is a strong community. It's a beautiful community, and we've used that word a lot, community. To me, the essence of community is those that find something that they share in common that unifies them. But the essence of the word, in the word community, is that word unity. We're going to go through a process over these next few weeks, months, years. And you know what? It's going to be difficult. There are going to be some challenges that we're going to have to face. But because we are a community, you know what? We're going to be stronger for it. Here in these CLCs, we get to create a vision for our community.
So tonight we will go through a process where we will together come up with a collective vision statement for the Buchtel community. This vision statement will then guide and root the rest of the work, so that when you're talking about what needs to be done, the question will be, will it serve our vision for our community? And let me just say, if you don't live in the Buchtel community and you're here, that means you care about the Buchtel community and you have a stake in the Buchtel community and you have a vision for the community. So you're very much welcome and to be a part of the visioning process.
Crystal and I like to quote, if you know Joseph Coleman from our community, Joseph Coleman always says, all of us is smarter than any of us. And we really believe that. As a matter of fact, we've changed some of the way some of our plans based on some of the feedback that we've gotten. And that brings us to tonight's visioning process. We were not initially going to do this at this meeting, and our group said, hey, wait a minute. You know, we should have a community-wide vision rather than just a vision at each of the neighborhood CLCs. And we listened.
We will be keeping the time when we say time. We're going to give you some warnings, 5 minutes and then 2 minutes for the first step, and then we'll say time up. We're going to ask that you adhere to the time frame. This is a quick process. It's supposed to be a quick process. And so time frames are tight. We're going to need your cooperation. And when you get in your group, then immediately give your facilitator his or your attention so that they can get started on the next step. Okay? All right, have fun.
Both collectively and individually.
Right, that will.
That will hold itself accountable.
Accountable, okay.
Both collectively and individually.
Yeah, there we go.
High five us. High five. I don't want a dirty word. So that's like a negative statement. We would rephrase it to say, I want my neighborhood to be clean. So the only tweak I'm going to do on anything that you may say, and we'll discuss this, is to ensure that all the words that we're using are positive, moving towards our vision, what we want and not what we don't. So that's the only nuance that I'll mention. For the rest of it, I'll just write exactly down what the first person said, and after that, we'll go to the next person, you'll share yours. If there's anything that's different, we're going to add it to that piece, and go around so everyone gets everything that we said at one time on our board. Once we do that, then we're all going to look at it and figure out how to make it exactly how we like it that it says what we want it to say. And then we'll be there. Okay? So I'm going to start my timer again because I know I talk a lot. 17 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. All right? That's right.
How to draw, how to conceptualize some ideas in art form.
And when you talk about drawing and conceptualizing, what is that a benefit to that?
Well, I think it's another step in communication.
Embraces its children.
Family values, I'm going to say embrace.
We all on the same field.
Yeah, children, okay. We don't have anything about responsibility for action. Its actions, or their actions.
For its actions. The community is a collective.
I'm
mean, your respect for more, I think we need to put that.
Okay.
And embraces, let's take and out of there. Embraces excellent education from birth throughout life. And what was we just working on?
Because education, in my opinion, education is at the heart of a democracy. And respect.
Okay. And respect for all citizens?
Respect them.
Right.
No matter what.
Right.
From all levels.
Well, you want me to put that up here? That you want me to say respects all citizens? And then, I mean, because it can be a point by itself. Okay, so we can put it up here.
Excellent learning facilities, schools, colleges, college and facility schools, training program, which would enhance your employability. Status. The knowledge of ourselves, that's why some of the kids are doing what they're doing today. And that's why I said that. They're not trying to be segregated, just talking about one culture. I'm talking about our culture. I'm not eliminating the Italians and the Jews or nobody else. I'm just talking about to learn our history that we've been kind of stripped of from. And our kids understand where they really come from and how strong and rich our African heritage is.
What did you say we can learn? Most times you can learn a skill for the most part. Talents is something innate thing. Like I might be able to sing, which I can't. And I'm going to pull this out. I would just like that.
Supporting our elders.
Positive, healthy values.
Yeah, and then go into the promoting healthy values.
And because
Prepares our youth to succeed.
and because we're negative.
Promoting healthy values. By promoting
Healthy values, then go into offering the support, right?
supporting.
Offering systems.
Institutions so it's not just a people-based we learn it in the property. But it's in the schools we're not learning about building a boom like we learned in our schools.
Time's up. These two groups combined. You two combine. These two you combine with the group next to you. Rita, your group combined.
They're about to come over here.
I need a writer. I need a volunteer to write. You want to read? Take a moment to read this statement and this statement. In your mind, we want you to collapse those two statements into one. Offer a suggestion after this minute how we're collapsing these two statements into one. We're not adding words that I should have, could have, thought I had said in the other sessions. They're done. We got two statements, this one and this one. That's it. So look at it very closely, read them in your mind, and collapse them together.
Because that way, regardless of the culture that may exist within the various sites, you can have the African-centered model. It may be another cultural history and culture that may surface when we start talking about the what's. Because right now we're talking about what is it that you want for every citizen in your community.
Okay, people, that's right. This is the vision. This is it. Time is up. Okay, we envision a community that values diversity and maintains high standards in a safe and nurturing environment that builds independence and economic self self-sufficiency while educating our community in the knowledge of self and promoting a quality of life for all throughout the life cycle. That's it. All right. So, you all are awesome. We have to go, but before we do that, we want to thank you all. We want to have Matt just come and share just a few words with you.
It's really inspiring actually to watch you guys do this, and that was a hard process. And at times while I was watching you do it, I was thinking, what are these people going to end up with? But you stuck it out, and your commitment and your enthusiasm was obvious, and I think this is a pretty cool vision that you've come up with in just an hour and a half, basically. I'm excited about this process because this project is a combination of great ingredients that are all good in and of themselves, but the combination of them, I think, is going to produce a whole new recipe for Akron. Usually when you get large numbers of people together and processes are good, those are the kinds of things that attract decision makers. Those are the kinds of things that make them feel like it's worth their time, just like yours.
Okay, since we're getting ready to leave, I'm just going to ask if everybody can get in a circle and hold hands, please. And then we're going to ask Brother Andre Long, Brother Kwame Long, to come and just share the secret praise with us.
May we always remember those that have gone before us. May we be inspired by their vision and their valor. May their lives continuously remind us that service is more important than success. That people are more important than possessions. That principle is more important than power. May whatever we do be shaped and molded by honesty, competence, and commitment. May our children and our children's children carry forth with pride the nobility of our history and tradition. To the Creator of all of us, we dedicate our lives to make this community better and more beautiful. Ashe.